Okay, so this video is going to be very personal, and if you would like to make fun of it, please fucking don't. And that's all I have to say, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. So this video is about a story time, about the time I was on a drug deal and it went wrong. So I quoted drug deal because I was buying weed, and if you want to smoke weed, fucking smoke weed, because I love weed and I love what it does for a person. I just personally cannot smoke it because for me it is toxic and it does not help me out. So I do not smoke weed. But if you choose to smoke weed, smoke a fucking blunt, dude. You deserve it. But I do not. And so I do not believe I was actually on a real drug deal, but I was buying marijuana from somebody else. And so therefore I was buying a drug, and it counts as sorry, I'm nervous, but it does count as I was on a real drug deal. So I had met this boy through a friend of mine that I'd smoked with quite a lot. I had met this boy. He was 5 years older than me. At the time I was only 16, and he was 5 years older than me, and he would text me a lot and he would just talk to me. And at this point I was not with anybody, so I did text him and I talked to him as well. And so one night he had offered me weed, and the reason I don't smoke weed is because I would do anything to get it. I would waste all my money and I would just need to be high to keep myself out of the mind space I'm normally in, and that's not good for a person. And so I'd rather be making myself healthier now than being high all the time thinking that's gonna help me, even though it doesn't help me. But then I would have done anything to get my hands on weed. So he texted me and he said, do you want to hang out? I'll give you a free dub. Which, if you don't know what that is, that's only $20 worth of weed. Doesn't seem like a lot. $20 worth of weed to somebody that'll do anything for weed for free, that was a lot to me. So I said okay. This man was 23 years old and I was 16, and I said okay. So he came around 1 in the morning in his truck, and I snuck out my front door, leaving it unlocked so that I could come back in. And I went into his truck. He drove us to a location. I don't really know where we were, but we were literally probably only like 10 or 20 minutes from my house. And so like that alone like was was a bit sketchy. It wasn't the nicest like situation to be in, but I wasn't thinking anything of it. I didn't think I was in a bad place. I just thought like, hey, he's gonna give me bud. Like, he's gonna let me smoke and I'm gonna get high, and that's really what I want. I just want to get high. So I sat in the car with him. He offered me a joint and said like I could smoke the whole thing to myself while we just talked. I don't really remember what we talked about, but we just talked. And after I was done smoking, I was like, okay, cool, like, I can go back home now, like, I'm gonna go to bed, like, I have school in the morning, like, I'm a fucking 16-year-old kid, I have things to do. But, sorry, he had said that I owed him for the weed I had just used. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have money on me, I don't have my credit card, but I can get you money, like, I have some. Which might have even been a lie, like, who knows, but I was like, oh, like, I'll pay, like, I can find money, like, I'll even take out money if I don't have it, like, I can get you some money. And so he was like, that's not what I mean. And I was like, I can get you money, like, I can, like, I have money, I swear I can get you money. And he was just like, that's not what I want, that's not how I want you to pay me back. And I was like, at this point in time, if you are a person that has experienced something like this, you know that your mind just starts racing. You just start thinking about everything. You just think, Like, what could you have done differently to not be in this exact situation that you're in right now? And I could have done everything differently. And people, it's not my fault. I believe that I didn't make this man do what he wanted to do that night, but I did put myself in the car. I did go and get free weed, and I set up myself for what was coming. But he told me I owed him. He looked me straight in the face and said, I want you to take your clothes off. That's how I want you to pay me back. And I was like, you know, I was only 16. I had only had sex with one boyfriend at that time. And I told him I was a virgin because I thought maybe that would make him think, oh, like, she's a good kid, like, let's just let her go home, like, she just smokes pot because her family life is shitty, like, I'll just let her leave. He didn't think that. He thought that because I was a virgin, that was cooler. So he asked me to take off my clothes, and I didn't want to, but he took off my shirt, and then he took off my pants, which at the time, I literally had a sweatshirt and sweatpants on and Uggs because it was the middle of the winter, and no bra because it was 1 a.m. And if you're a girl, you know we take off our bras at like 8 p.m. So I did not have my bra on. And I am very subconscious about my body. So don't take this as me saying like I am the hottest person alive. But I do not have the smallest boobs. And guys are disgusting. And he took that as his entire opportunity, like, cause I had big boobs, I had to have been experienced, I had to know everything about it. And so he continued to just do as he pleased, and I again and again brought up that I could pay him back for the weed that I had smoked. Like, I again was like, I have money, I can go get you money, like, we can literally take me to a Wawa, get you money. Like, I would get him money if I would just be allowed to go home. And that's not what happened. I did not end up paying for the weed. He did indeed rape me in the driver's seat of his truck, and afterwards he brought me home and he told me to just go about my days as if nothing happened. And now he did text me again after that day. A few days later he did, and he was like, do you want to smoke? And obviously I didn't answer. I actually had taken a small break at that point from weed. I was like, that's not, like, my mentality and weed are not good together. And so to put in what had just happened to me and to put it with smoking more pot to try to cover up what was wrong wasn't fixing anything for me, and it wasn't helping me at all. So I took a break from it at that point, and I had taken a break from those friends, and I hadn't told anybody. I did not go to the cops. I did not tell my parents, and I only lived with my dad, but I did not let him know. I still, to this day, have nightmares about it. I can wake up gasping because I can feel what it's like to have somebody take advantage of every part of you, and it's disgusting. I can honestly tell you I am disgusted with myself a lot of the time. I have taken to doing stupid things to try to get myself out of that mind space, and it doesn't help. And honestly, I think that the best thing is to talk to somebody that has been through something like this, because they're the only person that's gonna understand you as well as you understand what has happened to you. If anybody has gone through this and would like to talk to me about it, I'm willing to share my experiences. It wasn't the last time I was raped, but it was the first, and it was traumatic. I did attempt to take my life afterwards, and I'm not saying this to get your attention. I don't even have many followers. Nobody's subscribed to me. Like, I doubt anybody's gonna see this, but I did attempt to take my life. I attempted to cut my wrist in a bathtub. I didn't go through with it because, well, one, because my dad knocked on the bathroom door and told me to get out, but I also didn't want that even if it wouldn't have, like, probably made him live his life any better, knowing that I had died, but the satisfaction of him knowing, like, he could get away with something like that, I didn't want that to be my legacy. I didn't want to die at 16 and have nobody know my name, nobody know what I can do, nobody know what's in my mind. I want to share those things, and so I just want to, like, just don't let somebody take that away from you. So if you want to talk, I'm open. You can message me. I'll tell you my Instagram. I'll tell you my Twitter. I mean, whatever handle you want to know, we can talk about it. But if you do watch this far, thank you so much for listening, and I will be back soon with another video.